everybody. Here I am. I mean, I had a little bit better view back there, but this is still pretty decent. Kind of running a ridge today, or at least this last couple miles. Dang it. I don't know why, but sometimes I just got done with lunch, and sometimes after I've hiked a few miles and then take my pack off and have lunch, and I put my pack back on, and for some reason it's like needles stabbing into my back for some reason. I'm gonna see some of the rock that we're walking on. Well, good thing my shoes grip to the rock, because you'd slide and get hurt. I don't know how people do this when it's wet. Oh, that smells good. Oh, it smells really nice through here. Here, let me turn this around. You can kind of see the rock, the trail here. You can see that, here, kind of bring it down to my eye level. So yeah, I don't know if it's slick. I don't know what they do to get up this. Go down through the trees or something, I don't know. But anyhow, I want to just do kind of a recap a little bit, just a quick, let's see which way to go here. Just hopefully I can only keep this within 10 minutes or something, but since day one I have not done well at doing videos. I was hoping to put out 1 or 2 videos a week, and that hasn't worked out at all. Hopefully I can get this dialed in better than I have. Learning some things and just learning to take time. I spent a lot of time just kind of soaking up what I'm doing here, and stopping to, well, smell the flowers every now and then. I haven't focused too much on video, for the YouTube channel. So anyway, so I started March 28th at Amicalola Falls, did the stairs, we know that, and here's a pretty good viewpoint here. And here, let me just kind of give you a little bit of a view here. And did the approach trail, which is about just under 9 miles to Springer Mountain. And Springer Mountain is where the AT actually begins. And see, where's the trail go here? Down. And it took I think right around, I think it was like the 8th day that I hit the 100-mile mark. There I began hiking with Snowbird, for the first week and a little bit, 8-9 days. And we got into Franklin. I got sick. I had to take a 0. Snowbird went ahead, and today he is probably 150 miles ahead of me, all because of one day. Of course, he, young, long legs, fast, he's moving, but he wanted to be done in exactly 4 months. So I want to be done in 4.5. Yeah, so I've actually still got some ground to make up. Anyway, so we got out of Franklin, and of course that time my tent failed me, got soaking wet, and so I got to Franklin. I swapped it out for a hammock and tarp, and ever since then I've been a happy camper. Through all the rainstorms, I've been dry, and it's just much nicer to be able to operate that way for me. 200 miles, Clingman's Dome. The 100 miles was cool, but I wasn't that excited about it. It was probably because I was done it before, 100 miles before, and look at this. We still have this program. But 200 miles, I got a little emotional. Pretty excited about it. It's the longest I've ever hiked, furthest I've ever hiked. So that was pretty cool. Clingman's Dome, highest point on the Appalachian Trail. 300 miles. That day was a very, very blustery day. A storm had just rolled through that left snow, left ice. It was cold. It was miserable. The trees were covered in ice, falling all around. I actually missed the 300 mark, although I knew I was going to hit it that day. I was looking for it, and I just wanted to get to camp, get warmed up. But it was a fun day because of the rock scramble and that ridge, so that was pretty cool. 400 miles, man. 400 miles seems like it was just a week ago. I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago. But I remember that day coming up on that, and then the other day we got to see a really cool waterfall. For the life of me, I don't remember the name of it. I'm not very good at keeping tabs on names of things out here. Careful. Don't fall down there. But 400 was pretty cool. And then came, oh, ouch. And then came the 500 mile mark. That was another stormy day. Well, it didn't really start storming until later in the day. And it stormed. It was windy and cold, but it was fun. That was when we were coming in. We saw the ponies. This just seemed like yesterday too. That's crazy. Yeah, it just seemed like it was just barely, not even a week ago. We saw the ponies where they enjoy licking the legs and hands of hikers because of the sweat. They're looking for that salt. So 500 was a pretty awesome moment because we were nearing the quarter way mark. Yeah. We got to that 500, took some pictures, got to moving. In fact, it's probably, at this point, it's probably my favorite day since I've been out here. As far as the scenery goes, the area, the terrain, the area that we're in. That's the Grayson Highlands. I would absolutely come back here again to the Grayson Highlands to hike that section again. Absolutely beautiful. Just beautiful. Kind of reminds me a little bit about, like an alpine area with a mix of pasture. 600 miles. That was another actually awesome day. What a great day that was. I mean, there was a little bit of attitude, but in the end, it was awesome. So we had decided to push for the 600 mile mark, which would give us about 26 miles, something like that. And so we did just that. Now, Dynamite is ahead of us all the time. And then me, and then usually Honeybee. And we got to the 600 mark. Dynamite was not there, but Honeybee and I were. Took some photos, and then I stayed there to do a video. I think it was a Facebook Live video. And so Honeybee went ahead, and I was there for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then I stopped along the way, took some pictures and things like that. So anyhow, we had planned on camping down near the road because there was a water source, if you will, down there. So we figured we'll just go until we find Dynamite. Well, we didn't find Dynamite. He did send a message though to Honeybee that he was going to keep going until he found water. And the shelter was already about two and a half miles from there, but we were tired. We'd already gone pretty close to 28 miles by now. I'm like, we might as well just keep going. Anyway, Honeybee and I finally pulled into camp at 9:30 p.m. giving us a 30-mile day. Folks, I'm not talking 30 miles. I'm not talking about you walking out your door at home and start walking down the street for 30 miles. I'm talking up and down, all around. Rocks, roots, mud, the dark. Of course, we did have headlamps, but nevertheless, 30 miles in these mountains, not that easy to do. Plenty of people do it, but it's not very often. It's tough, and my feet already hurt like crazy. So even though it was a bit of a, you know, we brought a little negativity into it, it ended up being absolutely an amazing day. We hit 600 miles in like 5 days. Well, I mean, we did 100 miles in like 5 days. That was pretty awesome. And then we pulled off a 30-mile day. But then eventually we ended up getting into Woods Hole Hostel, in which I had planned, when I was pre-planning before I came out here, I wrote it down and everything, on being to Woods Hole Hostel for my birthday, so I could have a treat. They do yoga. It's a bread and breakfast as well, and they have massage. And I'm like, I want to be able to be there for my birthday and treat myself. Well, due to certain circumstances and rain, we decided to hold back from Woods Hole Hostel 5 miles. We could have made it on my birthday, but when we had called ahead, they were booked that night, that specific night. So we held back 5 miles away from the hostel and went in the next day. So I still would have made it, but it would have been late. And so we wanted to be able to enjoy every bit of that. So we stayed back 5 miles, got up in the morning and walked in the rain, the pouring rain and cold and wind, into the hostel, where we checked in. And then we actually, that was only 5 miles, and then we actually did another 10 miles. Once we checked in, gathered some things, and then we slack packed. I was against slack packing, by the way, but we did it anyway. It's my birthday. We slack packed 10 miles, which means that we leave our backpacks somewhere else and we just take what we need. All I took was a bottle of water. Went 10 miles over a mountain, and then we went and had China buffet, all you can eat. Oh, yum. And then that night we got back to the hostel. They had Mexican lasagna for dinner and a birthday cake for me. That was awesome. And so anyway, that's enough about the Woods Hostel. I could talk about Woods Hostel for an hour. It's amazing there, just flat out amazing. Anyhow, we got out of there, we left in the pouring rain. It was like 4 days of rain, everybody. It was crazy, but we find beauty in it. You know, and you get to meet new people because a lot of people will go hide, run from the rain, and that's okay, no disrespect. But we choose to hike in the rain every time. Anyhow, that was a couple days ago. Up to this point, we've had Zach with us. He's a friend of Dynamite's. So our miles have dropped by about 4 miles a day. We've dropped because he's not used to this. In fact, he's a tough cookie for lasting as long as he has. We had the potential of hitting 700 miles today, and I still do if I choose to. We'll be a couple miles short. Maybe I will. If not today, it'll be tomorrow. Raspberries. Too bad they're not on yet. Yeah, if I don't decide to go that a couple extra miles today to hit 700, we'll do it tomorrow. We're in no big hurry at this point because Trail Days starts on Friday, and I have decided to go to Trail Days. I wasn't going to. There was something else I really wanted to go to, but things just didn't work out the way I'd hoped. So I've decided to go to Trail Days, enjoy myself for a couple days, meet people, and experience that in Damascus, Virginia. Tomorrow we'll also hit what they call Dragon's Tooth, a very popular spot on the Appalachian Trail.